for sale. Boy for sale.
Is this legal, man?
Only here and in Mississippi.
They couldn't go anywhere, they couldn't do anything without speculation on who was cheating on who and who was seeing who. And
Film star River Phoenix died early today outside a popular West Hollywood nightclub.
Johnny renamed the night spot the Viper Room. On Halloween night 1993, actor River Phoenix showed up at the club.
A Black Sabbath is a witch's Sabbath. It comes 8 times a year. Halloween is Shayham. It's more or less their big party day. Now, if they're in the human sacrifice, they also do human sacrifice at the time.
On Halloween night 1993, actor River Phoenix showed up at the club.
Inside the Viper Room, River has just taken a massive overdose of cocaine and heroin. Toxicologist Dan Anderson later analyzed River's blood.
There was so much cocaine there, it's astronomical. It's 8 times what we consider lethal.
While Johnny played with his band on stage, moments later, Phoenix walked outside onto Sunset Boulevard. He collapsed on the sidewalk and died.
I think Johnny was very angry at the way the media handled River Phoenix's death. I think that, he recognized what it was, a horrible accident.
To honor the memory of River Phoenix, Johnny closed the Viper Room for a week. On Halloween night 1993, actor River Phoenix showed up at the club.
There was so much cocaine there, it's astronomical. It's 8 times what we consider lethal.
We were totally unaware that there was a satanic cult in West Memphis, that there were Satan worshipers in West Memphis. I didn't hear anything about this until my child was sacrificed to Satan. Then I heard about it. Why is it that I didn't know this before?
Today marks the 5-year anniversary of a West Memphis murder case that gained national attention. The bodies of 3 second graders, Stephen Branch, Christopher Byers, and Michael Moore, were found mutilated in a ditch. Now, one of the 3 men convicted for the murders, Damian Eccles, has prompted a hearing to try to get his conviction thrown out.
4 years ago, an Arkansas jury found him guilty of murdering 3 second graders in a horrific, ritualistic sacrifice.
Police theorized the murders had been part of a satanic ritual. A satanic ritual.
Damian Eccles, then 19, was sentenced to death. Jason Baldwin, who was 16, and Jesse Miss Kelly, 17, were given life sentences.
Mike Allen was the first detective to find one of the victims.
My personal opinion, I think these three individuals are child killers.
You have to look at the facts, and the facts are the three that we arrested and that have been convicted are the ones that did this.
DNA evidence and Johnny Depp, the three convicts you're about to meet, had both on their side, and that proved to be enough to set them free from prison today.
How can you be absolutely sure that these three men are innocent?
If there was the tiniest sliver of doubt, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Anybody that's come on television must be an initiated witch. You can just check them off.
What kind of person would come from across the country and marry a known, convicted child killer?
We were getting ready to do an interview a while ago, and the first thing Johnny says is, when this is over, we've got to find a tattoo parlor. You know, it's one of those things. He didn't just support us while we were in prison. He's been with us every single step of the way since we've gotten out. He's become like a brother to me. He's become like a brother to me. And that's one of the things we always do, you know, just as part of that bond. Just as part of that bond is whenever you get tattoos like that, it's something that both of you carry with you through the rest of your life, and it's really meaningful. It's really meaningful.
Johnny Depp has a matching tattoo with another celebrity, Marilyn Manson. Marilyn has told us himself. He said, "Johnny Depp is like a brother to me. We have matching tattoos on our backs. It's a kind of secret. People say, 'Why did you get that?' And we say, 'No reason.'"
You see, the entertainers, they have these crosses. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ.
That's what our televisions have done to us. They've gotten us to a frame of mind that we do not realize the real world around us.
Did he tell you anything about demonic forces?
Yes, sir. He said that all people have a demonic force in them, and that a person would have no control over that demonic force.
Did you also tell him that each person had a demonic side to them?
I believe every person has a good side and a bad side, yes. He asked me, did I think there were some people that could not control that side? I said, yes, I guess there is.
Most of the time we didn't really set out to do anything in particular. We just started hanging around, and whatever happened just usually happened. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
But I did not kill those children or anybody else. I had nothing to do with it, and I know nothing about it.
16-year-old Damian Eccles and 16-year-old Jason Baldwin brutalized the children with a club and a knife. Eccles and Baldwin raped one of the boys and sexually mutilated another as part of a cult ritual.
17-year-old Jesse Miss Kelly allegedly confesses to watching two other suspects choke, rape, and sexually mutilate three West Memphis second graders.
He said he saw Damian and Damian's best friend Jason abuse the three boys in a devil-worshipping ritual.
I saw Damian hit this one boy real bad. Now he started screwing him and stuff. He hit him with his fist and bruised him all up real bad. Jason turned around and hit Steve Branch.
Okay.
And started doing the same thing. Then the other one took off. Michael Moore took off running. So I chased him and grabbed him and held him till they got there, and then I left.
I kind of enjoy it because now, even after I die, people are going to remember me forever. They're going to talk about me for years. People in West Memphis will tell their kids stories. It'll be like, sort of like I'm the West Memphis boogeyman. Little kids will be looking under their bed before they go to bed. Damien might be under there.
They're cold-blooded murderers.
In your opinion, it doesn't add up that way for us.
In my opinion, and 24 jurors out of the state of Arkansas's opinion.
2 juries said they were guilty of it.
My name is John Douglas. I'm an FBI agent. Ran the behavioral science unit at Quantico 25 years.
The person responsible for this crime can look at you right in the eye, can look at a camera and say that I didn't do it, because he's a psychopathic personality. There is no remorse. Anyone who perpetrates a crime like this and leaves the victims like this in this condition, he's only concerned about himself. You can put him on the polygraph, he'll pass the polygraph, particularly if it's 14 years later.
I didn't kill these 3 little boys. I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm sorry that your kids are dead. I'm sorry about that.
In the beginning, we told nothing but the truth, that we were innocent.
I told the truth that I'm innocent.
Was it true? No, it was not true. Did I run anybody down? No, I did not. I didn't kill nobody. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to be ashamed of.
On May the 5th, did you kill Michael Moore?
No, I did not.
On May the 5th, did you kill Stevie Branch?
No, I did not.
On May the 5th, did you kill Chris Byers?
No, I did not.
Have you ever participated in any type of human sacrifice?
No, I have not.
I think he's kind of been playing this part for so long that now he probably believes this part he's been playing himself. He's fooled himself into thinking it's true.
The person responsible for this crime can look at you right in the eye, can look at a camera and say that I didn't do it.
Give up my personality, give up my identity, just march along like everyone else. I'd rather die first.
Reverend Tommy Stacy's church is down the street from where the bodies were found. 1 year ago, Damian Eccles told the church's youth minister he had a pact with the devil and he was going to hell.
I do know that my youth director talked to Damian extensively after revival that we had, and he told him that he could not be saved, that he could not give his heart to Jesus. And my youth director then tried to get him to take a Bible, and he made the statement that he could not take a Bible because if he did, the rest of them would get him. The rest of them would get him.
People from school that doesn't even know him don't gonna say that he was a devil worshiper and he didn't worship the devil and he's not in any cult.
At some point, did Damian invite you to some meeting?
He did. A cult satanic meeting.
Okay.
Damian and I stood back, and then these kids took their clothes off, and I looked at Damian. I said, I want to leave.
I heard Damian Eccles say that he killed the 3 boys.
Where were you? Was he saying that to you, or what were you doing?
I was walking by with my friend.
He said, I killed the 3 little boys, and before I turn myself in, then I'm going to kill 2 more, and I already have 1 of them picked out.
I don't remember saying that at the time because to me, I didn't actually do it. So it would have been like a joke.
I feel good so far. So far, to me, it looks like we've got it beat. I only know of 2 things that really hurt. That one kid getting up there for Jason,
yeah,
and those girls.
He says, it looks like you're just changing your story to fit whatever comes up. And you said, yeah.
I was just like halfway listening to him.
Also states that Damian stated that the younger the victim would be more innocent, and in turn more power would be given the person doing the killing.
Right.
Okay. Did you say that?
Yes.
Okay, those are your words.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you pick that up when you were studying to be a Catholic?
No. I saw that on several movies, books.
Damian, Jesse, and Jason were found guilty in court proceedings that were, at the best of times, comical. We know they're guilty because one of them was reading a Stephen King novel.
The state had introduced the book Never on a Broomstick. Are you familiar with that particular book?
Yes, I am.
All right. Where did you get that book, Damian?
At the library in Crittenden County.
When witches write a book, they order a demon to go into every copy that comes off the press. So when you own a book on witchcraft, you have a demon residing in your home.
When people hear the word magic, anything even remotely connected to magic, it has to be evil in some kind of way. When I was a child, I loved magic, and I was
would say to myself, I'm going to be the greatest magician there's ever been. And I had no idea that that meant I would have 20 years to sit alone in a prison cell and practice and study.
We know they're guilty because one of them was reading a Stephen King novel.
You're familiar with a fellow named Aleister Crowley?
I know
Heard
who he
him?
is. I know
Okay.
who he is.
And one of the names that you picked out to write about was this fellow named Aleister Crowley, correct?
The thing about Crowley was doing everything to absolute excess, pushing yourself to the absolute limit so you know at least where your limits are. So if you're going to do something that's depraved, you do something which is extremely depraved that even you feel disgusted at, and then try to learn to enjoy it.
He also stated that the penis was a symbol of power in his religion known as Wicca.
He told me how he dismembered the kid, he sucked the blood from the penis and the scrotum and put the balls in his mouth.
Is it your opinion that these crimes were motivated by occult beliefs?
Yes. A lot of times they will take blood and store it for other services and other use, as well as consume it or bathe in it.
I wouldn't say I drank blood. A lick.
I saw Damien hit this one boy real bad. And he started screwing him and stuff.
The same Bible that says sodomy is illegal in God's kingdom.
That's
the Bible.
But it's so much fun.
That's it. Doesn't matter.
It's a case so stunning, so controversial, it became a major cause celeb, with actors and musicians like Johnny Depp, the Dixie Chicks' Natalie Maines, and Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder.
I'm also here to show my support for the West Memphis 3.
The celebrities fighting for the teens' release claimed the kids were railroaded because of their mullets, dark clothes, and fascination with the occult. In
several occult books, they will talk about the life force of the blood. Usually the younger the individual, the more pure it is, the more power or the force it has.
These three animals worshiping the devil made a sacrifice of 3 babies to Satan to think that it would empower them to fly.
The celebrities fighting for the teens' release claimed the kids were railroaded because of their mullets, dark clothes, and fascination with the occult.
It makes me scared that, this could happen to any of us. The West Memphis 3.
They got accused of killing some kids.
Yeah. There was no evidence. There was nothing. It was ridiculous. It's open and shut. It's so ridiculous. It's mind-blowing.
You can just check them off. Those people belong to a witchcraft or Satan's brotherhood somewhere, or they wouldn't be there.
Damien, Jason, and Jesse had no motive whatsoever to kill these 3 boys. Boys that they didn't even know. And so therefore the state went to the only motiveless theory.
You can just check them off.
The same Bible that says sodomy is illegal in God's kingdom.
That's
the Bible.
But it's so much fun.
That's it. Doesn't matter.
Are you an American?
Absolutely.
Okay. You're living in a country that is moving past your point of view at an amazing rate of speed.
Why did the subject decide to tie up the victims after stripping them down naked? I believe the initial intent in my analysis was not to kill, but was to taunt and to punish these individuals.
Whose names are written on that document?
Mine, Jason's, my son's, one that says Aleister Crowley. And
Wait, who?
Aleister Crowley.
Now, this is a document that you've written while you've been waiting in jail for trial, right?
If you say so.
Damien, Jason, and Jesse had no motive whatsoever to kill these 3 boys. Boys that they didn't even know. And so therefore the state went to the only motiveless theory.
The only other name on this document, besides yourself, your best friend, and your son, is Aleister Crowley, correct?
Yes, sir.
Crowley taught that the way you could live forever was by vampirizing little children sexually through tantric sex magic. This is a deception. Satan is deceiving these people to draw them into all kinds of profound evil. Why is Satan doing this? Satan loves to defile innocence. And of course, a child is always innocent.
For 17-year-old Jesse, Miss Kelly
allegedly confesses to watching 2 other suspects choke, rape, and sexually mutilate 3 West Memphis second graders.
What, if anything, did he tell you?
He had told us that he had attended some satanic cult type meetings that boys along with girls would attend. There would be sessions of sex, orgies as he called them. Dogs and animals had been killed and portions of them have been eaten by the members.
Tell me some of the things y'all do being in this cult.
We go out and kill dogs and stuff.
They prayed to Satan and they prayed to the devil, and they had their satanic worship services out here, and they had all types of wild homosexual orgies, I've been told. Crazy things.
See, the lower witches believe that the power for witchcraft comes from orgies and sex. The higher witches believe it's attained by human blood.
Rock musicians get their music while on drugs or from spirit guides, which are demons. In rock music, you must be an initiated witch, a coven member. That means you're a minister.
Eddie Vedder used to come and see me at the prison. He would come to death row and visit there, so he was there all the time.
I got involved in the case thinking that there was maybe some way I could make a difference. And at one point, I had to look him in the eye and ask him straight ahead, and I was completely satisfied with his answer, and now, with conviction, we can say that, without a doubt, these young men don't deserve to be there and don't deserve to be there.
Natalie Maines, what got you involved?
Same as Eddie.
You can just check them off. Those people belong to a witchcraft or Satanist brotherhood somewhere, or they wouldn't be there.
You see, the entertainers, they have these crosses. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ.
I always thought they were kind of weird because they kept talking about controlling the world. And I thought, let's stay back with witchcraft, this world government thing. Witches are never going to control the world.
Do you have faith?
I have faith in my kids.
Me too.
Yeah, faith in terms of religion, religion is not my specialty.
His first major film role, Crybaby, director John Waters' spoof of teen rebellion movies. Waters' films often featured transvestites and set new standards in bad taste. He was Johnny's kind of guy.
Can you think of a better drag queen than Johnny Depp?
Even Johnny's friends and former co-stars were amazed, even confused by this performance.
It's as though he spent his career playing transvestites.
He looked great. I mean, he really looked great in that underwear. I mean, it was just, shooting, going up his back and his hair.
The most feasible ways is to please the spirits, is to deride Christ and his people. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ.
Johnny was doing 2 other movies at the same time, but he showed up in the middle of all that, and he wouldn't let me pay for anything either. I mean, he worked for free, and he said, just put it on the screen.
Depp met 17-year-old actress Winona Ryder at a Hollywood movie premiere. Johnny was struck by her beauty, her intelligence, and her bohemian spirit. Johnny proposed to Winona after 5 months of dating. He proved his devotion with another tattoo. Winona forever.
It's a case so stunning, so controversial, it became a major cause celeb, with actors and musicians like Johnny Depp.
Actress Winona Ryder, Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam, and the Dixie Chicks.
They are all supporting the West Memphis 3.
This is unreal. This is unreal. I'm supposed to start talking. I'm sorry, I'm sick. On behalf of this fearless and talented cast, we would like to thank, oh, it's so heavy. We'd like to thank Netflix, Sean, many celebrated Stranger Things, but this award from you who take your craft seriously and earnestly believe, like me, that great acting can change the world is a call to arms from our fellow craftsmen and women to go deeper and through our art to battle against fear, self-centeredness, and exclusivity of our predominantly narcissistic culture, and through our craft to cultivate a more empathetic and understanding society by revealing intimate truths that serve as a forceful reminder to foe. We are all together on this horrible, painful, joyous, exciting, and mysterious ride that is being alive. Now, as we act in the continuing narrative of Stranger Things, we 1983 Midwesterners will repel bullies. We will shelter freaks and outcasts, those who have no home. We will get past the lies. We will hunt monsters. And when we are at a loss amidst the hypocrisy and the casual violence of certain individuals and institutions, we will, as per Chief Jim Hopper, punch some people in the face when they seek to destroy.
I was born into a witchcraft family. When the kids were coming to Sunday school and when they were learning how to pray, I was learning how to light candles and incense and cast spells. When you were learning the 23rd Psalm, I was learning the witch's chant.
They brainwash you from very early childhood that the Christian is the most evil being or creature in the universe.
Witches teach that the Christian Bible is an absolute lie, created by the god of evil named Jesus.
The central religious myth of the West is the story of Eve, the first woman who was tempted by the snake in the Garden of Eden. Depending on one's point of view, the snake, serpent, is the devil or wise shaman. The matriarchal perspective is that Eve trusted nature more, feared it less, was more tuned into life than Adam, and had a more adventurous spirit. The fruit of the tree was the first controlled substance. Eating it resulted in the first drug bust, for which Eve took the rap. The Eden myth can be viewed as a patriarchal cover-up for the suppression of goddess worship and nature-based paganism. So the war against drugs and the war against women have the same mythic origin.
This is supposed to be one of the hierarchy of the demons. And it said, don't you ever send me after a Christian again. I mean, you need to know how powerful the name of Jesus is.
Can't you get a hold of this now in your spirit and hold this up before all the forces of hell?
Winona's parents were close friends with Allen Ginsberg, one of the beat poets Johnny idolized. He was sure he'd found his soulmate.
And then we went to his place, and he asked me up for a tea. Went up and had a tea, and we sat there and spoke about Kerouac. He was great.
Winona's parents were close friends with Allen Ginsberg, one of the beat poets Johnny idolized.
Moloch, in whom I am a consciousness without a body. Moloch, who burns down the love of the world. Woke up in Moloch. Moloch. Moloch.
Crowley taught that the way you could live forever was by vampirizing little children sexually. Satan is deceiving these people to draw them into all kinds of profound evil. The question is, why is Satan doing this? Satan loves to defile innocence. And of course, a child is always innocent.
Winona's parents were close friends with Allen Ginsberg, one of the beat poets Johnny idolized.
They're hiding behind the First Amendment. Ostensibly, they claim that they are designed to abolish age of consent laws. I was in the organization for 3 years. Every conversation that I had was about where to go to have sex with little boys, how they could attract little boys, how they could groom little boys. That was their agenda.
Well, I've been an admirer of Aleister Crowley. I think that I'm carrying on much of the work that he started over 100 years ago, and I think the 60s themselves. You know, Crowley said, do what thou wilt. I'm sorry he isn't around now to appreciate the glories that he started.
In witchcraft, the children are the property of the craft and not of the parents. They are raised by all the witches in the craft. From the moment the child is 5 years old, he's considered an adult, and he's treated like an adult. As they do these things, they break down all the barriers holding the devil back. And just literally, they become a human chalice. They fill up with demons.
Johnny brought wit and pathos to Edward Scissorhands, which also starred Depp's real-life fiancée, Winona Ryder. His 3-year relationship with Winona Ryder crumbled under the weight of the high-powered careers that kept them apart and unrelenting press scrutiny. Johnny found an outlet for his pain.
Film star River Phoenix died early today outside a popular West Hollywood nightclub.
Anybody that's come on television must be an initiated witch. You can just check them off. Those people belong to a witchcraft or Satanist brotherhood somewhere, or they wouldn't be there.
All initiates of the satanic doctrine do all things backwards.
I prayed for the death of Heather Chandler many times. Now I know you understood everything. Praise Jesus. Hallelujah. Monday morning, your history. I'll tell everyone about tonight.
Let me dream of a world without Heather. Killing Heather'd be like offing the Wicked Witch of the West.
Heather Chandler is one that deserves to die.
We'll kill her. She would never drink anything that looked like that.
So we'll put it in this. She won't be able to see what she's drinking.
Let me get a cup.
Never mind, I'll carry the cup. Veronica and you'd have a hangover, so I whipped this up for you. It's a family recipe. I knew this stuff would be too intense for her.
You think I'll drink it just because you call me chicken? Just give me the cup, jerk.
Oh my God. I just killed my best friend.
And your worst enemy.
Same difference.
What are we gonna tell the cops? All right, we did a murder, and that's a crime. But if this were like a suicide thing, you know?
Like a suicide thing?
Yeah.
You've done this before?
I heard ghosts on the whole record, and I'd always say, "Don't you hear those ghosts? Listen." And so he'd go, "John, not everybody hears them. Just we hear them."
Get the little spooky picture. There are a fallen angel, an unclean spirit.
Rock musicians get their music from spirit guides, which are demons.
It'll be hard for me and you to talk about theory since neither of us know a damn thing about it.
Right, which is why it's good that I should be interviewing you on this occasion.
Yeah, but see, we know about a lot more other cosmic things that are floating around in the universe and in this very room today, things that are circling around, that hopefully we'll be able to be vehicles for these things and let them come pouring through our nostrils.
Johnny opened his own club, the Viper Room.
On Halloween night 1993, actor River Phoenix showed up at the club.
There was so much cocaine there, it's astronomical.
While Johnny played with his band on stage, moments later, Phoenix walked outside onto Sunset Boulevard. He collapsed on the sidewalk and died.
Everybody dies. I don't think it's that big of a deal. For instance, in River's case, I think it's more of a shame that he was born than he died, because he didn't like this life, he didn't like this place, and he's in a better place now. You know, and that's the way, I don't think that death is a big deal.
On Halloween night 1993, actor River Phoenix showed up at the club.
The devil always thinks on himself.
It's a movie made by Johnny Depp, featuring a cameo by John Frusciante and Timothy Leary, and it's called Stuff. And here it is. Da-da-da-da-da.
The Edge. There is no honest way to explain it, because the only people who really know where it is are the ones who have gone over.
Another amazing man in Johnny's life, Hunter S. Thompson. Johnny became friends with Thompson before he filmed Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It was a friendship that endured for years.
Your doctor is what? What area, what discipline are you a doctor in of?
Hunter got his doctorate degree from the Universal Life Church.
You can just check them off.
This will be the first, I believe, same-sex wedding ever performed on late-night television. Best of all, I am going to officiate the wedding myself. By the power vested in me by the state of New York and the Universal Life Church Monastery. And the Universal Life Church Monastery.
Yeah, the guys must have kind of some dark sense of humor, keeping him around this long.
So explain to the uninitiated who Hunter Thompson was.
That's the one thing I fear is dying. I don't believe I'm going anywhere.
You don't?
Do not believe in a higher power looking down on me.
You can just check them off.
They don't want to admit God created the world because that means there's a coming judgment. They don't like that idea. But there's one coming whether you like it or not.
Hunter and I, it was when I was researching Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and I was living in his basement, you know, and I happened upon this box as we were looking through the manuscript of Fear and Loathing. He used to call me Colonel Depp. You know, he said, Colonel, we must produce this. We'll produce this together. So that was the plan.
Could you relax with him?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Tell us about the first time you ever met him.
There was a sort of scheduled meeting. It was about midnight. I was sitting in the back of this bar, and suddenly the front door opened, and I saw sparks, these hideous sparks that were kind of everywhere. And then I realized as he came closer, the sea was parting, people jumping and diving and hurling themselves to safety. I realized that he had a 3-foot cattle prod in his left hand and a taser in his right. And then I heard, "Out of the way, you bastards!" And then we shook hands, and then we went back to his house and built a bomb. I shot it with a shotgun.
And it went off?
Yeah, 80-foot fireball, yeah, huge.
He loved explosions. He loved blowing stuff up. We did this thing, Breakfast with Hunter, where he was in town, so I went to Johnny Depp and I went to go see him, and we picked him up in some car, and he had some inflatable blow-up doll that he was calling Ling Ling, and we drove around Hollywood before he went to this reading, and he kept beating the doll, and then he would take her out into the street and say, "You," and he would just be punching this blow-up doll on the street, and you see these cars swerving, and I mean, he was just always ready for a show that was beyond any sense of kind of decency and went into some absurdist land that made your head spin.
You can just check them off.
Tell us about the first time you ever met him.
There was a sort of scheduled meeting.
So when I first met him, first thing he had me do was steal Don Henley's car. So right off the bat, when I got there, it was Grand Theft Auto. I mean, right off the bat. Then we went there, and he said, "Do you drink? Do you shoot?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." He goes, "Well, I've got some things to attend to. You know, hideous rape case affidavit. I've got a, hideous rape case affidavit. I've got a. But do you golf?" Sure. So he put me out and gave me some whiskey, a shotgun, and if you could blow the golf ball out of the sky, then that was fair. So it was kind of a pitch and putt with shotguns. So that was just immediately, and then as we went on in the evening, we went out to Woody Creek. And there were all these tests to see if you would, if you had the right stuff that he would give you.
So see, every level you go to, they tell you a different story, and so every step you go up the ladder, everything you've been told before is a lie, and all of a sudden you learn new truth.
It was kind of the Hunter Thompson before he found his voice, before he found the avenue for the rage,
He was, without question, I think the most important non-fiction writer of the 20th century.
He reinvented a style of writing by putting himself into the situation, by living it.
What is a typical day like for you out there? You still have a home in Colorado, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do out there? What kind of things going on for you?
I like to kill.
And when you say kill, you're talking about what, neighbors? What?
We don't want to talk about shooting people, do we?
No.
We don't want to talk about shooting people, do we?
No, but you're teasing when you say you like to kill, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not teasing. I used to like to kill. I was funny because I like to kill.
Yeah.
I wish I brought the damn gun. State-of-the-art killing machine.
Killing machine, yeah.
Well, we don't really care. Those guns are killing machines.
Yeah.
I don't have to use them like that, but it's comforting to know that you can kill.
All right, enough of that.
Hunter S. Thompson, a friend of yours.
Later in life, just kind of veered off, a little. In terms
Demons.
Do you have faith? Faith in terms of religion? I don't. Religion is not my specialty,
And if Washington doesn't have enough to talk about these days, the Washington Times reported today that unidentified White House aides in the Carter, Reagan, and Bush administrations now are being investigated for using the services of a call boy ring.
Aside from the fact that you had sex with some of these politicians, at some of these parties, did you recognize any prominent senators or congressmen or anybody?
I've seen at the time Vice President Bush go in and all he did was the kids performed oral sex on him. That was it.
Kids what?
Performed oral sex on him. Then
the kid performed oral. Which of the black kid or the white kid?
Both of them. Well, when
Vice President Bush came in, two separate parties. Once with a white kid, once with a black kid. Yeah. Right? So you saw him twice.
Yeah.
And the kid had to perform oral sex on him.
The illumination of 1,000 points of light. And it is expressed by all who know the irresistible force of a child's hand. The irresistible force of a child's hand. Of a friend who stands by you and stays there. A volunteer's generous gesture.
After the party was over, the ones that were involved with him, or the ones that he was trying to get political favors from, that wanted whatever they wanted, they would stay or they'd come in after the party was over, or the next day. See, so at the party, nothing even abnormal. I mean, if somebody was in there and stuff, they'd see no abnormal activities going on, so they would, honestly be able to say that. I've been to parties, but I've never seen anything, so.
I went to work for somebody in good faith.
Yeah.
And ended up seeing way more than I ever wanted to or dreamed of.
So Hunter Thompson approached you about doing a snuff film?
Yep.
Okay.
He offered me $100,000 to shoot a snuff film, and I wouldn't do it. I did say snuff film. That's where they would actually kill somebody.
Okay.
And have it on film. They would sell the tape to these wealthy business people for tremendous amounts of money.
You ask me how I live and how I pay for my drugs and my whiskey? Well, that's how I do it.
Losing Hunter took me down because you know that these friends, these mentors, these teachers, these father figures, it was amazing to be accepted by them and to be loved by them.
There were all these tests to see if you if you had the right stuff that he would give you.
This is so bizarre that nobody will ever believe you if you told them. Who do you go tell?
Right.
Because, you see the chief of police taking money. He's rubbing elbows with all these powerful people.
The sheriff was there and he came in and he looked like he was some mongrel motorcycle outlaw about 6'6". Came in, said, "Who the are you?" I said, "I'm Johnny. Who are you?" And he goes, "Well done." So there's all these little tests.
You blew his ashes.
What Hunter wanted was to be blown out of a 150-foot cannon and shot into the stratosphere. I think he knew that I was the only one stupid enough to make that happen, and I did.
He came down all over all of us. We were covered in Hunter's ashes. But the idea also is to take Hunter, his ashes, and then mix that in with gunpowder. There was something so poetic about that, something so kind of symmetrical about Hunter becoming basically large bullets.
Hunter S. Thompson put himself inside the story and lived it. He's as original as Ginsberg or Bob Dylan. He's, for me, one of the great heroes. He's as original as Ginsberg or Bob Dylan.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
With the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
I don't mean like you feel like you're in another dimension. I mean like you're in another dimension. And there's an alien communicating with me. Sort of like a Thai Buddha, except he's made entirely of energy. And this guy's looking at me in the eye, and I am freaking out.
You all remember Roxanne Pulitzer?
Hunter and I had a very odd first meeting.
I went over to Roxanne's house. Yeah, we abused a lot of substances.
But anyway, this is what Hunter wrote about himself when he was in Palm Beach. Cruising the beach at dawn on a red Chrysler convertible. 2 beautiful lesbians in the front seat beside me. We're on our way to an orgy in a mansion not far from the sea.
This mansion where people worshipped the demons. What was it like there?
We're on our way to an orgy because I feel a bond with these people that runs deeper and stronger than mere money and orgies and drugs and witchcraft and lesbians and whiskeys. Bestiality is the key to it, I think. I have always loved animals. They are different from us. And their brains are not complex, but their hearts are pure. And there is usually no fat on their bodies, and they will never call the police on you, or take you in front of a judge, or run off and hide your money. Just remember, animals do not hire lawyers. Yes. Hunter, we love you.
I believe there is nothing on the other side of death to fear. What happens then? From my point of view, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Many readers have informed me that it is a tragic and dreary business to go into death without faith. I don't feel that way. All I require of a religion is that it be tolerant of those who do not agree with it.
Everybody in the town and in the courtroom and on the jury are all blinded by their fantasies about satanic cults.
Then you start hearing all these, people whispering about maybe it was Satanists that did this.
That theory did not seem so far-fetched back then. A media-fueled hysteria about satanic cults was sweeping across the country.
This crime took place in a wooded area.
Police say Satanists in our area often conduct their rituals in remote wooded areas.
They say, oh, this is all nonsense. And I feel like, knocking on their heads and asking if there's anybody home up there. It's done in secret.
Conspiracy to control the world by a secret society called the Trilateral Commission.
Freemasons. It is a secret society.
When you get into a secret society of spirit worshippers,
Yale's legendary secret society.
The thing is so secret, I'm not even sure it still exists.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret.
So secret we can't talk about.
This rogue criminal enterprise operating within the confines of the U.S. government. It was after that I started researching and went back and found out about the Illuminati. Illuminati/Satanism. The satanic cults operate secretly.
We were young, there were lots of kind of big secret lesbian parties. Nobody was out, right? So it would be like Melissa Etheridge would throw a party and KD would be there and I would be there and Ellen would be there.
One of the most powerful witches in the United States is on television.
All initiates of the satanic doctrine do all things backwards.
I get a lot of people quoting from the Bible to me. I don't know why, but a lot of people quote the Bible to me.
They watch them, and these are nice, clean-cut figures, but it's not so.
Some tarot cards. A Ouija board.
How many of you have used the Ouija board? That's the consulter of familiar spirits.
Monica! Oh my God, Monica! Monica, calm down!
Little ones to the babies, yeah. Today is a gift. Have fun. Just have fun. Thanks.
Johnny, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Wow. Here right now. For those who don't know anything about me or about my story, my name is Damian Eccles, and I spent almost 20 years on death row in Arkansas for a crime I didn't commit. I've only been out about 5 years now. But while I was on death row, I underwent a lot of torture, and while I was awaiting execution, what you see around you is a big chunk of what kept me sane, what kept me psychologically and physically healthy. For me, there's never really been a distinguishing line between art and a spiritual practice. It's the same thing. The two are deeply enmeshed and intertwined. So what I wanted to do with this installation was create a sort of sacred space. When we think of sacred space, we think of things that are thousands of years old, things that are preordained, churches and cathedrals or Stonehenge or whatever it is. But in all actuality, everything that exists is made of the same divine substance. Everything. Therefore, every space is sacred. Every space is holy. What makes it special to us is the energy that we put into it. Our thoughts, our emotions, our memories. And that's what I wanted to do here, to create a sort of sacred space in this festival. What you see around you are, it's chaos magic. In chaos magic, there are no pre-prescribed holy symbols. No crosses, no pentagrams. We create our own. And the way we do that is by taking certain energies and abstract concepts, whether it be love, whether it be prosperity, whether it be protection, whatever it is, we take those concepts, we take those energies and reduce them to a symbol. And the reason we do that, what these symbols are for, it's a way of speaking, sort of bypassing your conscious mind and speaking directly to the subconscious mind in a way that your conscious, everyday way of viewing the world doesn't necessarily have to understand. It allows the deeper parts of your psyche to sort of work on their own and do what you want them to do. You sort of program them like a computer. So the vast majority of the sigils that you see around you
Next guest has been called the most accurate and least factual reporter working today. His latest book right here is entitled Generation of Swine, Tales of Shame and Degradation in the 80s. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Hunter Thompson. Hi, Hunter. Nice to see you. How you doing? Come on over. Thank you very much for being here. How you been?
Oh, thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah. Where do you make your home these days?
The same place I've been making it for the last 20 years.
20 years? Where is that?
Woody Creek. I invited you out there the last time we were talking.
Yeah. And you were born in that area?
No, I'm from Kentucky.
Kentucky originally.
Where are you from?
Indiana originally, yeah. And what is your life like there? Is it Colorado, you said?
Peaceful.
You're up in the mountains?
8,000 feet, yeah.
Yeah. And what kind of a day do you have? So pick any day, for example. Do you get up early and write and stuff, or what?
Yeah, I write early in the morning. I work all day long.
Yeah.
And then I cut the grass, and I chop wood.
Mm-hmm.
And
what do you do for recreation there?
Yeah, that's what I do for recreation. Yeah. I work.
Do you ever hike up into the mountains?
Oh, yeah, I do that I like to kill.
And when you say kill, you're talking about what, neighbors? What,
We don't want to talk about shooting people, do we?
No, but you're teasing when you say you like to kill, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not teasing. I used to like to kill. When I realized that I was hunting in order to kill.
You like hunting?
I quit. Well, I did. I quit.
Yeah. But I know that when you...
But I quit because I realized I was not hunting for meat. I was hunting because I like to kill.
Yeah. Have you talked to anyone about this stuff? But I know...
I don't have to.
Yeah, I know. I found it...
time for psycho...
I found it interesting that in traveling here to be on the show, you brought with you on the airplane a rifle. Is that correct? Was it a rifle or a shotgun?
I was to show it to you, but they wouldn't let me do it.
Yeah. But I found it interesting that you could travel with a weapon on an airplane.
David, I've told you repeatedly, if you're innocent, you can do anything.
Yeah.
And I am innocent. And why shouldn't I travel?
Yeah, but explain the procedure to me, because...
It's nothing. All you have to do is sign the red tag. I wish I'd brought the damn gun. They prevailed on me not to bring it. It's a beautiful Mark V Weatherby 300 Magnum.
A collector's item?
No. Hey, it's a working piece of state-of-the-art killing machine.
Killing machine, yeah.
Well, we don't really care. Those guns are killing machines.
Yeah.
I don't have to use them like that, but it's comforting to know that you can kill.
All right, enough of that. Now, let's talk about the who we think may be the new president of the United States.
David, I heard you earlier, and you think it's going to be, or was George Bush?
Well, yeah, before, but, it went right down to the wires, and they're still having trouble counting the votes, and so... But if it was George Bush, how would you feel about that?
Are we admitting on the air that...
Let's just say if it is now George Bush, how would you feel about that?
Well, by the time this thing airs, I won't be in the country. Okay. Yeah, I have, for 2 years, I beat him like my friend Sims Luckett said, a red-headed stepchild. And, yeah, I was right. I think Bush is not Bush so much. Bush is hard to get in your hands on. Well, he's not really there. And I beat him, and
You said things about him. You actually said threatening things about him, didn't you?
Threatening? Well, the Secret Service came and told me, but I didn't really...
No, let's go back to that. The Secret Service came to you and said what?
Well, I was in Milwaukee, and you know how my religious bent. We've discussed this before. I have a kind of a morality, religious, neo-religious, like the talk, neo-liberal. And I was speaking at a Catholic University in Milwaukee, and Marquette, and I said to these gentlemen who were after me for, they wanted to talk about politics and guilt. Catholics are very much into guilt. Are you Catholic?
No. But I'm certainly into guilt. If it'll help the story, I'm into guilt.
I'm not. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And I'm into justice, and I said to these,
what are you doing?
I don't know, man. Get rid of that. I said to them, if you people want to talk about politics and guilt, let me tell you something. We'll get a shortcut right here.
Right.
That George Bush is the guiltiest man in politics. Therefore, we have our subjects crossed.
Yeah.
And this is a Jesuit. I said, I like Jesuits because they're smart and mean.
Smart and mean. You like the Jesuits characterized as being smart and mean?
I like to talk. I like to argue with Jesuits.
I see.
And excuse me, I have Jesuit up here.
Yeah, we get a large contingent.
Well, we should bring them down. I like that. There's nothing better than talking to a good, mean Jesuit.
Okay. Anyway,
wait a minute, let me finish.
Yeah, this is the story about how the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. It's a real story.
Oh yeah.
And you don't hear too many of those. Do
No.
you?
Well, I had a pretty good one earlier about a raccoon that no one seemed to enjoy, but that's
raccoon.
Yeah.
A raccoon is a weird animal.
Oh, tell me about it. Have you ever had one?
Wait a minute. Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm looking.
You're making me a little jumpy, Hunter.
It's good for you.
Yeah. Okay.
You're calming me down.
All right. we have to move along here. Now,
okay.
So finish the story.
We're doing okay. Right.
Are we doing all right?
Yeah, we're doing okay. And I said to him, all right, let me tell you something. It's a theorem, as it were. And if you people take your Catholicism, your religion seriously, you would, if George Bush is the guiltiest man in politics, you would have to come up here on the stage with me and stomp him to death.
I see.
Well, if that's true, wouldn't you say that? I mean, if the man is totally guilty, and if they believe that, this is a very heavy, Catholic,
so now,
Catholic school.
The Secret Service...
And I took a vote.
You voted on it.
2 to 1.
2 to 1? 2 to 1?
To join me and tell me that.
The vice president to death?
Yeah.
On stage?
On stage, yeah. No,
Okay.
see,
No.
We can take a vote here.
No, we don't want to take any votes. But, so what did
They'll get me now.
What did the Secret Service say? They came to you?
The Milwaukee Journal the next day ran a front page headline saying that the crazed gonzo author advocates stomping vice president to death. I did not. I didn't do that. I just said, if you believe, if you want to talk about guilt, you want to talk about religion, I'm just a hillbilly. I don't know too much about religion, but we share one thing in common, which is a sense of justice.
I see. And but the Secret Service then kind of
they came to.
worried.
I was going to Washington to cover the Iran-Contra hearings, and I kept getting calls from the Secret Service.
Right.
And I finally returned one, and I said, well, hey, whatever problem you have, is it going to affect my press credentials in Washington?
No, I don't think wanting to stomp the vice president to death.
I would never stomp the vice president to death. I need these people.
Okay. I'm telling you, we're out of time. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. We want to hear more about this killing machine. No, I know, but we have to. The gentleman, the musician, is.
Someday you'll have enough time.
Oh,
have a serious talk.
I know. I think it's my fault. We wasted a lot of time, and I apologize to you.
I was late.
You were a little late, sure. Anyway, the book is Generation of Swine, Hunter S. Thompson. I hope it does real well for you. Nice to see you again. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for being here. We'll be right back.
And they said it couldn't be done. Now we've got Keith sheltered in his room and sort of refusing to come out until Hunter comes to the hotel and turns over this check.
Keith is fine.
Can we show the fax?
Yeah, I think so. What do you think?
This is the fax. Handwritten by Keith Richards. We can read it here. Doc, I am here, but he crossed out disappearing. Vanishing. I want your fee in cash or no deal, Doc.
We should give it to Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And let him give it to Keith. I think that's what he should do, and then Keith will give it back to Hunter.
Right.
That was cool to say, wasn't it?
That was good.
First I'll knock, right? No, first I'll put it on. That's what I did. Earlier.
Hi. How you doing?
I found this on the hole. Some gas was left. Yeah.
It's homely. It's machinery.
Nasty project. Well, when you steal, it's more a matter of your taste. Stealing is not wrong. I call it. I always like to credit people when I lift their stuff.
All right, everybody, my next guest wrote such classics as Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trail 72, and Hell's Angels. His latest book, Kingdom of Fear, is in bookstores now. Please welcome Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah. Oh.
Sure. Most people come around the front, but you do things your way, and that's cool. Sir, very nice to have you here.
Yeah, good to be here. Hi.
Hey, how are you? Good to have you. You and I had an experience once because you're a fan of firearms. You like to fire guns.
I enjoy it, yeah.
You enjoy guns. You and I once, remember the time we went out, you and I with a camera crew, and we fired all kinds of guns?
Yeah, I'm remembering.
Clearly that had no impact on your life. That was a big moment for me.
Oh, no, it was
Did
fun.
you?
I
What was your impression of me? Did you think I was a good shot? Let's talk about me. How was I as a marksman? What'd you think?
Me. Yeah, all right.
Good. Late night with who? Not late night with Hunter S. Thompson. Late night with Conan O'Brien, man.
I heard you had a drug problem, but this is horrible.
Those rumors are not true. Those are some good times you and I had. Remember, we were firing those guns. You want to take a quick tour down memory lane? This was just a couple of years ago, I think. I forget when this was. We've been doing this show.
An original experience.
This is an original experience.
Yeah.
Let's show this to the people.
Yeah, good. This is really a wonderful clip.
Shoot a few things. And loosen us up.
Yeah. I'm gonna go throw up.
I gotta get that bear.
All right, go for it. Very good. That'll teach that bear.
Thank you.
Let me get my earbuds on and lose your drink.
Yeah, you gotta. I like the safety guy just said, move your whiskey before you start shooting.
You dirty animal!
Yeah. What's Bill Buckner gonna think when he's watching at home and he sees
this? Riddle that bear forever.
That man was holding a machine gun about 15 minutes ago. Yeah, if I sight it on that.
On the right shoulder, sort of. Just
yeah.
There, I think you'll hit him good.
Oh,
yeah.
I believe you got him. He's going to go and fire.
Yeah!
All right. Hero, man.
Who can look at this and say war is not horrible?
I guess it is all about me at the end of the day.
Okay.
But let's talk. A little controversial. Last year, it was a total accident, and your assistant's fine now, but you accidentally shot your assistant. Let's talk about that.
Well, it was not that way.
she rushed into the path of a shotgun pellet.
So you were shooting a shotgun and your assistant happened to be in the way.
I was shooting at a bear in front of her door, and
there's a bear in front of her door.
Yeah, different house, you know. And yeah, I called her and said, "Don't go out your door. There's a bear there." And I was pissed off. Anita got me out of bed and said there's a bear outside. But I just wanted to move it. You know, it was right in front of her door. She stepped on it.
Did you think for a second of using the McConaughey method of rushing the bear and hugging it and caressing it? No, this is your method. Is quite different.
Well, mine works.
Yeah, yeah. So you shot at the bear, and what happened? She came out her door around the same time.
Well, instead of not opening her door like some, the reverse thing, like do not touch, wet paint.
Yeah.
Bang, right out the door, just as I pulled the trigger. And I don't shoot at the bear, I shoot at the gravel right underneath him. So the rocks bounce up and it gets him and stings him in the ass, but it doesn't...
doesn't hurt the bear.
No, no. Yeah, he got up kind of annoyed and lumbered off. But just as I pulled the trigger, Deborah stepped out her door and bang, bounce here, bounce there. So, yeah, I think 2 pellets. It embarrassed me, ruined my safety record.
Yeah, what a terrible thing for you. But your assistant's fine now. Everything's fine. It all got...
She was fine in an hour, yeah. It made a lot of headlines, and people got excited. I wanted to kill the bitch. I lured her out there and... Yeah, I did.
Now, you've been portrayed in film not just once, but twice. Johnny Depp played you in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And apparently he practically lived with you and shadowed your every footstep so that he could learn how to be Hunter S. Thompson. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, he came out there, damn it.
What's the matter?
Never mind. Hey, you see my shoes there? Yeah, I want you to get these things. Yes, thank you. I made these shoes.
You made those?
I made them, yeah.
You didn't make those. Those have the Nike swoosh on them. You didn't make those. Hold that up.
Yeah.
Well, why, if you're making those shoes, why are you putting the Nike swoosh on them?
Yeah, it kind of has a panache to it, you know.
Yeah.
Style, you know?
Yeah, I made this myself. It's pretty nice. Yeah, isn't that nice? I made that. Something I like to wear.
Yeah. I have a bracelet or two.
Yeah. Well, I like to... So Johnny Depp, he lived with you and he...
Oh, yeah, it was weird. Yeah. The serious actor apparently will, Johnny is serious. But the bastard moved in, we had him in kind of a cell in the basement.
Johnny Depp slept in your basement?
Yeah. The guest room, sort of, but it's a dark place. It has all kind of books in it, and also had... he discovered a keg of dynamite. Flash powder, actually gunpowder, right next to his bed.
What was dynamite doing next to his bed? Why do you have all this dynamite?
Well, for bombs.
No, I'm just...
Damn.
If you're going to be making some bombs, it's good to have dynamite around. You're making a cake, have some flour.
Bombs or making bombs?
Yeah.
Don't talk to me like that. What do you mean making bombs?
Yeah.
Why do you want to make bombs?
I'm guilty. How did this get turned around to me? I'm not making bombs. You're the one making bombs and fake Nike sneakers in your basement. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything. You know what? This is ridiculous. We don't have any time. There's so much. We haven't even gotten to any of our, but we're completely out of time. You have to come back. We have to talk about all of these things.
Let me just explain one thing to you.
Yes.
That this is the kingdom of fear, as I say here.
Oh,
and
the book club.
You are a perfect example of being a victim. It's clearly rattled you badly. And,
I am a victim?
Yeah.
Why? How do you say I'm a victim? How am I a victim? Look at me. I'm happy-go-lucky. I'm a happy guy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's good. No, don't worry.
Huh? Oh. You just touched me.
I know.
And I liked it. Kingdom of Fear by Hunter S. Thompson is out there right now. Go out and get this book. Sir, thank you very much for being here, for making time for us. We'll take a break, everybody. We'll be right back. Stick around.
You got to be careful how you choose your heroes, right?
Yeah.
So part of me thought
Hunter
that
Thompson?
What's that?
You were Hunter S. Thompson? Who were you?
Yeah, I loved Hunter, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the first people I sent the tape to.
That's funny.
And he called me back at home. I can't tell you how fast my heart was
I can only
beating,
imagine.
that he would take the time to call me and tell me what he thought. And
you had no relationship with him?
None.
And what did he say?
God, I can't even remember precisely what he said then, right? But it was very glowing.
Great.
In his Hunter type of way. I did get to hang out with him a few years later in New Orleans, and that was quite a night.
Is he a cautionary tale or a best case scenario? What do you think then? What's your arc been in terms of what you make of that style and that lifestyle?
Well,
because that guy can write his ass off.
Just a brilliant writer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the persona he backed himself up into, it cost you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Cost him. I remember walking in the bar that night in New Orleans, and his head was just down on the bar, and he was just beside himself. And he was in the pain, and he was saying all of his friends are past and gone, and what's the point? And I don't want to feel like I'm name dropping, but I was with Sean Penn that night, and Sean got him, was like, come on, don't stop talking like that.
Yeah.
Like, snap out of it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And we picked up his doctor bag. Well, Sean picked it up. His famous doctor bag.
Yeah.
I was hoping to pick it up. But we went back to his room, right? And he came out of his shell because everyone started reading from The Curse of Lono. And it was like a lot of, his editor was there, a lot of some other actors and actresses. And it was all kind of a celebration of his words. And
kind of impromptu?
Yeah, we were sitting in a circle. We were sitting in a circle reading from The Curse of Lono. And I kept passing on it because I was blitzed, right? I was shithoused. And, I was pilled up. I was drunk. And he reached in his bag and threw me a big thing of pills. And I just downed a few without looking. And I said, Vicodin? And he's like, yeah. It was like little respect, which is a terrible fucking thing to be able to do.
That's
right?
Hilarious.
Terrible.
Yeah, you guessed it. And he was like, yeah,
wow, this guy's okay. Yeah.
It's my kind of guy. But
eventually he took umbrage and he's like, you got to read. And everything that I was fearing happened. Like I stumbled on some Hawaiian words and he's like, well, I don't know what's going on. He's usually very bright. And I was like, and because I'm gripped with anxiety anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's one of my blocks.
Yeah.
And so then all the things I had feared came true. And I don't know.
What do you think back then though? Like, do you think this is so fucking cool, I can't stand it, and I love having this lifestyle?
What?
Around that period where you're like, this is what we play for. We're doing.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking very deeply about what I was doing to myself and the ramifications on my family.
When you look back, what do you think you were doing? You were just adjusting to fame?
That's really putting a happy face on it.
I
felt like I had lost a little control, and it took a few years before I wanted to gain control, right? Before I wanted to pull myself together, before I saw like, shit, you got to like reel it in.
Like, so it sounds like a version of self-destruction.
And it never got to like extreme.
Yeah.
What I consider extreme, but it's good that I reeled it in,
Yeah. Okay, so when you say pick your heroes wisely, did you sort of have a shift consciously of like, all right, that's a bad ending? Or
well, my heroes still stayed my heroes, right? But I just could look at them more from a 360 point of view as opposed to, just glorifying them. Because I remember I was in New Orleans and Hunter called me again, and he was wanting to go home and
to Wyoming or
Colorado, Woody Creek. Do you know anyone that's flying back? And I said, let me check. And I found to see who's flying that direction. And oddly enough, it was Jessica Simpson flying that direction.
Great.
And I called them back. I'm Hunter, like there's a private plane going back. But by that time, he had found a plane to get back. He was really wanting to get back. And I think less than, 4 to 6 weeks later, he'd taken his life. And I think that's why he was wanting to get back. And it's pretty jarring, see him like that in the end.
This is shortly after your night with him?
Yeah.
And was that a bit of a wake-up call, or was it just more gradual than that?
More gradual.
Well, when you steal, it's more a matter of your taste. Stealing is not wrong. I call it, I always like to credit people when I lift their stuff.
The stories dump in the ocean, chop up the bodies, these things, they sound like they can't be happening. Ted Gunderson, respected law enforcement professional, recently or retired now from the FBI, former regional director of Los Angeles. Do you, sir, believe that these dreadful allegations of babies being sacrificed are true?
I absolutely believe it, without any doubt. Based on the information that's been given to me across the country by numerous survivors and by confidential sources and informants.
Then why don't you name these people and arrest them? Never a name, never an arrest. These women come out of a group and they insist that they know the people in the group, and yet they do not identify these large, mysterious cults. Name them and arrest them and get them off the street.
Does he not make a valid point?
He makes a valid point. The problem with that is, number one, police officers don't believe it. I may believe it. You may believe it. Some people in your audience may believe it. They don't believe it. Number two, if you decide to investigate these people, you have to, number one, handle it from an undercover operation. If you put an undercover operation into effect, then you have, in a sense, your own police officers become involved in these heinous crimes, and they are, of course, become murderers. And in addition to that, if you do decide to investigate these people, there's a lot of work. And many law enforcement officers are apathetic and don't want to get involved. Hello, I'm Ted Gunderson. I retired from the FBI in 1979 after more than 27 years service. At the time of my retirement, I was the senior special agent in charge of the FBI Los Angeles Division, with more than 700 people under my command and a budget of more than $22.5 million.
Ted Gunderson was an FBI bureau chief with nearly 30 years in service. But what Ted uncovered after retirement was more explosive than anything he ever saw on the inside.
And when he was chasing the leader through the woods, they had a running conversation, and the leader said, "We have the police and the FBI in our hip pocket here. If you kill me, you'll live in a 10 by 10 cell the rest of your life."
Satanism is about 1.5% of the population of this country today. That's a lot of people. That's millions of people. It's even in the military. They're still operating. You see, the government, our government, there's two elements. There's the overt and the covert. I was a member of the overt group. The covert group are involved in assassinations, drugs, kidnapping children, so on and so forth. It's black operations, we call it. And the reason you have to consider the CIA is because when you skyjack 4 airplanes simultaneously with 19 skyjackers, that is no small operation. That took years to plan, number one, and hundreds of people had to know about it in advance. Now, our government, NSA, was monitoring bin Laden's phone calls in February 1998. Are you going to tell me for 1 minute that we didn't know about this in advance? The CIA had to know about it. The FBI had to know about it. The Mossad had to know about it.
No.
MI5, British intelligence had to know about it. Why do these things happen? Why did we not take advantage of the advance notice of Pearl Harbor?
Very obvious that there is a certain degree of cover-up here.
Mind control has been in this country since the late 1940s.
And just had me under very deep programming, mind control, so I didn't remember any of it happening.
The children said there were tunnels under the school. They said they were taken through the tunnels up into the yard next door and put in cars and taken out into the community and prostituted. Here's what my source came back. The finders of the CIA front established in the 1960s. It has top clearance and protection in the assignment task of kidnapping and torture programming young children throughout the United States. Members are specially trained government kidnappers known to be sexual degenerates who involved the kidnapped children in satanic sex orgies and bloody rituals, as well as murders of other children and slaughter of animals.
And so I'm saying to myself, what's going on here? I mean, evidence was lost, stolen, destroyed. People are lying on the witness stand. What's going on here? And after I got the confession and developed more information, I realized it was a huge drug cover-up.
From government cover-ups to covert operations, from child exploitation to institutional abuse, Ted dedicated his life to exposing what others were too afraid to speak. This channel exists to preserve his legacy, to make public the information they tried to bury. They tried to silence him. We're here to keep him heard. Subscribe to Ted Gunderson P.I. Truth has no expiration date. Explore the archive at tedgunderson.info, featuring declassified files, personal research, conference transcripts, and scanned publications in Ted's own words. Join the conversation on the official Ted Gunderson Discord. Keep Ted's investigative work alive.
I say the CIA is the most evil organization in the history of the world. They're involved in kidnapping kids. They're involved in the drug operation, international drug trafficking. They're killing people. They're assassinating people. Chip Tatum on my radio show said that he was involved in the takeover of 20 governments around the world where they put a puppet CIA operation in afterwards.